The crack of a perfect shot echoed through the Pinnacle Precision Club, followed by a wave of applause from patrons in custom shooting vests and designer caps. Lucas Bennett lowered his engraved Beretta, a cocky grin spreading across his rugged face as the target confirmed another bullseye. This was his kingdoma bastion of wealth, skill, and exclusivity where the elite held court. But if you've ever been brushed off or made to feel out of place, stick around. This is the story of the shot that flipped his world upside down. At the entrance to America's most exclusive shooting range, Claire Morgan stood, clutching a worn canvas bag. Her plain navy hoodie and clearance rack jeans marked her as an outsider among the polished crowd. At 36, she was neither flashy enough to turn heads nor notable enough to earn respect in this elite enclave. The receptionist, a polished blonde with a rehearsed sneer, barely looked up. "Members only," she said, her tone thick with contempt. Claire steadied herself, pulling a creased envelope from her bag. "I have a day pass." It was a gift. Lucas, lounging nearby, caught sight of her. At 41, he was a legend, three-time national champion, Olympic bronze medalist, and the face of Beretta's premium line. His family's software empire had funded top-tier coaching since childhood, and his natural talent had done the rest. "Well, look at this," he called out, loud enough to draw eyes. Someone got lost on their way to the thrift shop. His buddies snickered, turning every head toward Claire, who shuffled to the basic range, eyes down. Club manager Diane Foster, a retired marksman, frowned but stayed silent. Claire claimed a spot at the range's edge, setting her bag down and unpacking a modest Glock 19 functional, but worlds apart from the custom firearms around her. Lucas and his crew edged closer, sensing easy prey. $10 says she misses the target completely, one chuckled. Lucas scoffed. "Make it $10,000. Bet she's never held a gun." Strutting to her station, he leaned in with fake politeness. "Ma'am, you sure you're in the right place? This isn't a craft fair." Claire met his gaze, her hazel eyes calm, catching him off guard. "I'm just here to shoot," she said quietly. Lucas grinned. "Shoot, sweetheart. This is for real marksmen. $10,000 says you can't hit the bullseye at 50 yards. If you do, I pay. If you miss, you're gone for good." Diane stepped forward, unease etching her face. "Mr. Bennett, let's let our guest practice." Lucas waved her off. "Just a friendly bet, Diane." Claire's fingers brushed the simple gold ring on her left hand, a subtle move most missed. "All right," she said, her voice barely audible. Lucas's smirk widened. "Showtime, folks." No one noticed the shift in Claire's stance, shoulders aligned, feet planted with precision. No one saw the expert grip or the measured breath. And no one knew the ring she wore had belonged to Chief Petty Officer James Morgan, a sniper icon in SEAL Team 6. 3 years earlier, Claire had stood under a rainy sky at Arlington, clutching a folded flag as James's casket was lowered. His 15-year career earned him a Bronze Star and the call sign Spectre for his deadly accuracy. The official report cited a training accident. Claire knew the truth was locked in classified files. They'd met in San Diego, where she was a logistics clerk and he was checking on an injured teammate. A knocked-over soda sparked hours of talk, then a whirlwind marriage 6 months later, witnessed by a few wary SEALs. Life as a SEAL's wife meant long absences and quiet fears. James returned with fresh scars and heavy silences, murmuring, "You're my anchor." During a rare stateside stint, recovering from a leg wound, he took her to a range. "I need to know you're safe when I'm gone," he said, tweaking her grip. What began as protection became their bond. James was a patient coach, Claire, a natural. "You've got it," he said after her first bullseye. Steady hands, sharp eyes, ice in your veins. They shot together whenever he was home, his lessons stance, breath, trigger control their ritual. "It's not about power," he'd say. "It's about owning yourself." His teammates sometimes joined, one joking, "Spectre says you're better than half of us." Their last range day was 3 days before his final mission. He'd been quiet, watching her more than shooting. "Keep practicing, Claire," he urged. No matter what. After his death, she locked his guns away and moved to Seattle, drowning in a monotonous bookkeeping job. Then came a package from James's teammate, Ryan Keller, a day pass to Pinnacle Precision and a note. "James would want you to keep going. 3 years is long enough." Now, Facing Lucas's challenge, Claire felt a fire rekindle. She raised the Glock, the world narrowing to gun, target, and her. She exhaled halfway, squeezed, and fired. The shot split the silence, and the target rolled forward, revealing a perfect bullseye. The room stilled. Lucas's grin wavered as he studied her flawless form. He snatched the target, inspecting it. Lucky shot, he spat. Anyone can fluke once. Diane's eyes shone with respect. That was exceptional, Ms. Morgan. Claire nodded. Claire Morgan. Diane offered. You should try our advanced range. Lucas cut in. One shot doesn't make her a pro. Let's up the stakes. $50,000. 3 bullseyes at 75 yards. Miss one. You admit you cheated and leave. A murmur ran through the crowd. A senator tugged Lucas's arm. Ease up, Lucas. He shrugged it off. Scared her trick won't hold. Claire could have walked away. She was here for James, not drama. But Lucas's arrogance stirred something deeper, a rage for every time she'd been dismissed. I'll do it, she said. If I win, the money goes to the Courage Recovery Fund. Lucas nodded, barely hiding his glee. You're on. Diane pulled Claire aside. Lucas has got the club record at 75 yards. No one's topped him in years. Claire nodded. Thanks, but I'll be fine. Lucas played to the crowd. Witnessed the fluke of the century. A total flop. Claire loaded her magazines. James's voice in her head. Trust your training. The range hushed. She aimed, adjusting for distance, and fired. Bullseye. Lucas's jaw tightened. The second shot another perfect hit. Before the third, she touched her ring, feeling James beside her. The final shot pierced the center. The crowd gasped, then roared. Diane displayed the targets. 3 flawless shots. Remarkable, Ms. Morgan. Lucas tore the targets from her, his face twisting. This is a scam. No, nobody shoots like that. Claire's voice was iron. We had a deal, Mr. Bennett. He jabbed a finger. I'm not paying a cheater. Diane stepped in. Her shots were verified, Lucas. Senator Thompson saw it. Lucas turned on her. One word to the board, Diane, and you're out. Claire spoke calmly. If you're accusing me, let's take this private. Lucas misread her. So you can dodge the truth? No, we settle this now. 1 week, a real match. 10 stations, club guns, no tricks. If I win, you confess your scam. If you win, $50,000 to your charity. Claire knew she'd stepped into a tempest, but backing down wasn't an option. Same terms, she said. Diane warned her later. Lucas doesn't lose well, and he's got influence. Claire sighed. I just wanted to practice. Diane pressed. Who are you, really? Claire gathered her bag. Just keeping a promise. Unbeknownst to her, Lucas was already digging, ordering his assistant to uncover everything about Claire Morgan. His voice shook not just anger, but fear. He'd spotted it. Her technique screamed military precision. By evening, Seattle's elite were abuzz. Lucas, in his sleek downtown loft, swirled whiskey, his victory ritual now a crutch. His girlfriend, Sophia Reed, scrolled her phone. They're calling her the ghost shooter. Her last shots are viral. Lucas downed his drink. She's a fraud. I'll prove it. Sophia frowned. Those weren't fluke shots, Lucas. She's good. His phone rang his investigator. Nothing juicy. Claire Morgan, 36, accountant at Summit Analytics. Moved from San Diego 3 years ago. No record, no shooting history. Lucas snapped. Nobody shoots like that without training. Dig into her husband. Across town, Claire ignored calls from Ryan Keller, sipping tea on her balcony. She regretted the spotlight but felt alive, as if James's lessons had pulled her from a haze. Her phone buzzed. Diane. Lucas is digging into you. He's obsessed. Claire sighed. I've got nothing to hide. She opened a box holding James's medals and their wedding photo, finding his range log. His notes praised her. Claire, 50 yards, 9-10 bullseyes. Natural talent. The next day, she skipped work, practicing at a rough public range. Hours of shots rebuilt her confidence, each a tribute to James. Diane texted. Lucas changed rules. 10 firearms, varying distances. Claire replied. No changes needed. In his loft, Lucas gloated to Sophia. 10 guns, she can't match my range. Sophia set down her wine. What if she does? His smile was cold. I've got insurance. The day before the match, Ryan showed up at Claire's door. You dodging me? He teased. She let him in, grateful. James would be proud, he said. Not just the shooting Yuri back in the fight. Tears stung her eyes. This wasn't planned. He nodded. Best fights never are. I've got buddies in the crowd tomorrow. Watch your back. Lucas is not used to losing. Lucas's investigator hit pay dirt that night. Claire was the widow of James Spector Morgan, SEAL sniper, killed 3 years ago. He trained her, the investigator said. She was a natural. Lucas's confidence cracked. She's no fluke. She's a sniper's heir. He poured another drink, dismissing Sophia's plea to cancel. This goes as planned, he said, making a cryptic call. At Pinnacle, the match drew a circus. Public tickets turned it into a spectacle. Diane confided in Claire. The guns are tweaked to favor Lucas. Claire nodded, clutching James's notebook. Lucas approached, his smirk venomous. Mrs. Morgan, pressure's tough for amateurs. You can still quit. Claire held his gaze. My husband taught me about pressure, Mr. Bennett. The arena buzzed, screens flashing scores. Military vets, including Ryan, watched from the back. Lucas's shots were slick, but Claire's quiet precision, honed by combat drills, kept pace. At the 5th station, she caught a rigged trigger but adapted, tying Lucas's score. By the 9th, they were even. The final station, a custom Barrett M82, was Lucas's specialty. He scored 9 out of 10, smirking. Not everyone's built for this. Claire spotted scope tampering but used James's formulas, firing perfect shots. On her last, a laser flashed from Lucas's cruel, deliberate distraction. She paused, refocused, and fired a 10th bullseye. The crowd erupted. Diane announced, Claire Morgan wins. Lucas's handshake was frigid. Claire said, You owe the Courage Fund $50,000. His mask shattered. A fluke widow beating me? The guns were rigged. Diane held up a tablet. They were against Claire. Security caught your tech tampering. The crowd gasped. Lucas's career teetered. By morning, Claire's win and Lucas's meltdown were viral. She called Ryan. He hasn't paid. The tampering's fraud. Police questioned Lucas for gaming law violations. The Courage Fund offered Claire a role leading a veterans shooting program. Lucas's team settled $100,000 in an apology meeting. In a stark conference room, Lucas admitted, I built my life on being the best. You shook that. Claire replied, I shot for my husband, not your ego. Months later, at the fund's new range, Claire taught wounded vets, naming a scholarship after James Spector Morgan. Her greatest win wasn't beating Lucas, it was reclaiming her strength, proving the quiet ones can shake the world.